Welcome back, everyone. It's January 5th, 1942. We're here with another episode of Alphabet Command, our co-op game with Evoken and I versus AndyMac. Let's see what this turn has in store for us. Hopefully, not another air disaster at Singapore. We'll see. You can see AndyMac has been taking the Guadalcanal, Solomon, Bismarck Sea, Solomon Sea area. Made a move on Port Moresby, but hasn't been able to seal the deal yet. I have a transport TF headed there. Hopefully it won't be picked off by Betty's, but it's going to land some reinforcements at Port Moresby if all goes well. But this turn, like I said, we could see some Betty's strike it, in which case it will have to turn back. Yeah, we'll see. I do have cap over the TF, so we'll see. I'm doing some night bombing at Buna. Trying to. Probably not going to be very effective. It is a lot of moonlight, 82%. It is clear skies. And I take out a 0. It's not the worst thing in the world. Lily's bomb at night at Singapore, but just lose one to flak, don't do any damage. Hudson's at Kuantan, don't manage to hit anything. And she's also bombing at Buna. And our French CW-77s, yeah, doesn't look like they're going to hit anything. But neither do these Lilies. Night bombing is so hit or miss. Pun intended, I suppose. Experience on those Banshees is so low, I'm not really surprised that they're not hitting anything. Well, our little task force here, which was supposed to provide ASW support, instead gets hit by the I-45. It will certainly go down. It's a tiny little AMC. Yeah, we hear the ship sinking sound. Do some bombardment in Sambis with the Lorraine and the Jean Bart on the Provence. The Provence and the Lorraine are World War I era battleships, whereas the Jean Bart is a modern French battleship. Excuse me. But hopefully we'll damage the runway. There's also some ships at port here. Maybe we'll get some hits on them as well. Yeah, 38 Mavis's damage, which is nice. Destroy a 0 and a Mavis on the ground. And we do put some hits in the Fuji and the Ugiri here in port. Good damage to his ground forces and okay runway hits. So a decent bombardment. Not the best, but I'm not mad at it either. Hear a ship sinking sound, not sure where that's from. Doesn't appear to be one of ours. We didn't get any messages down here about something sinking. Maybe it was one of those destroyers. That'd be nice. The Japanese I-106 tries to hit one of our AKLs. Thankfully misses. And we're on to the air operation phase. Spotting a lot of submarines here. Sweeping over Singapore again. And we're sweeping over Takao with our BR-697s. Pretty effectively taking out a 0 with no losses. BR-697s, these French heavy fighters, good range, decent speed, really poor maneuverability. They get an upgrade to the BR-697 C2 later on, and they become a little bit more effective. You notice that we didn't intercept the sweeps, but we did intercept the bombers. That's because we are on training mission here, and the training mission means that sometimes your training planes will get caught up in the attack and actually intercept, and that's exactly what happened here. So it helps disrupt bombing runs without running the risk of getting swept. The downside is that when you're doing this, that your interception rate is really spotty. It's really unreliable. So your planes won't always get caught up in the attack. And this time, you see that it's sweeping at Singapore, but this isn't a normal sweep. There's going to be bombers behind it, or not. That's really strange. I thought they were all in training. They were, because they didn't intercept the previous sweeps. Maybe they were just still in the air from the previous attack. I don't know. Any case, Betties and Nels go after us at Port Moresby. That's actually a good sign, because they're not going after our valuable transport TF here, and we're going to have a chance to down some of these bombers. They do make it through, but we do take out 4 of those bombers while losing a CW-77 on the ground. 8 more come in, and 3 of them down. Tojo's sweeping Singapore, and Oscar's sweeping 56 Mabels. Come in and bomb Wincow. I actually quite like the Mabel. I know that the Kate is better in pretty much all ways, but I find it's just a really great ground attack aircraft. However, it is really vulnerable to fighters, and I think we're going to find that out, especially unescorted. Because it's so slow, I think they're going to lose a lot of these. Oh yeah, just slaughter here. 19 Mabels down. So I liked a Mabel, but yeah, it needs an escort. It can't stand up to fighters. That's for sure. I wonder if we made any aces with those intercepting fighters. I mean, we destroyed more Mabels than we had planes in the air. Lilies, and we do have some training squadrons caught up in the attack. And destroy at least a Lily with those, and also another one goes down to flak. More planes caught up in the attack, going after some of these Lilies, taking out a couple at least. Yeah, destroying 2 of those Lilies. Some people, I should say, I was concerned that using the training mission in this way was gamey or an exploit or something. So I actually posted on the Matrix forums about it and asked, veteran War in the Pacific players, what do you think of this? And they said, don't worry about it. It's not an exploit. It's a valid tactic. So I said, okay, and I continued to use it. 2 mortar torpedo boats sunk at anchor there. Really accurate bombing from those Lilies. We lose a Catalina on the ground, unfortunately. And a large strike going after his ships here. Not really where I wanted them to go. But they make it through, amazingly. Let's see if I can score any hits. These Dutch bombers are not good at hitting combat ships. I'm going to fast forward through this. I don't think we're going to hit anything. Yeah, no dice. Thought we were going to lose a lot more planes though too. We only lose one of those Dutch bombers. Also doing some runway attacks here at Sambis to kind of steal the deal after that naval bombardment that we did at night. Take out a Mavis on the ground, that's always good. Not sure what this guy is doing. Yeah, we lose 2 Dutch bombers there. I'm gonna have to check their orders. I didn't think I had them set to attack that way, but that's okay. Lose a Dornier there. I think the issue is they had the naval strike mission, and usually you can kind of control where those naval strikes take place by having them do a search mission as well and narrow down where that search mission is going to be. So usually they're going to attack preferentially ships that they spot in the search phase. So if you can narrow that down and they spot ships there, they'll fly there. However, I think because there were no ships in their search arcs, they decided, okay, we're going to fly here instead. I did have a secondary mission for them for ground attack or airfield attack at Sambis. But again, it's possible that those ships only 2 hexes away were just too tempting of a target for them. In any case, some bombing here at actually a little east of Pegu. Again, trying to slow these guys down as we get Blenheim gets through. 2 of them destroyed. Yeah, trying to slow those troops down before they make it to Pegu. Another 0 down. That BR697 group is doing a good job. Also bombing at Chiang Mai. That's because they were set to bomb Pegu, but that group is gone, so it decided to pick its own target. I'll have to adjust its orders. All those Sallies make it through, all 30 of them. They're going to do some damage here. Again, going after our port, sinking an MTB and an HDML, one of those motor launches. 13-0 sweep, and I think we're going to lose some planes here, unfortunately. Yeah, those zeros. Oh, awful. 7 Buffaloes down. No Japanese losses. We just kind of have to eat it, though, until this TF is at Port Moresby. We're bombing Singapore. And no planes destroyed, but quite a few damaged. Raid on Wind Cow. And another sweep over Port Moresby, leading to 2 more downed fighters. Betty's continuing to bomb Singapore. Lots of bombing at Singapore today. Finally onto the PM phase. That was a long AM air phase. Liz has continued to bomb Pearl, losing a couple to flak. And again, we're losing more bombers there. And Mir Singh. Stop flying that mission, guys. Just stop it. Also, we have Dutch bombers going after this task force in the middle of the Sarum Sea next to the Celebes. And they're fended off by Zeros, probably flying from Kandari, I would imagine. Catalina's also try to get through. One does, but misses, and we lose a Catalina in the process. Ukamaru is on fire, though. Some bombing of the port at Zambis. And our Helldivers flying from our carriers also go after the runway, destroying 2 Mavises on the ground, and doing very light runway damage. Really the only reason that these carriers are still hanging around is to provide air cover for the bombardment task force that was there previously. Or that hit it in the morning, I should say. Lose a wildebeest to flak and don't do any damage there at Zambis. Bombing east of Pegu. Now up there at Rangoon in Burma, I did manage to land some heavy reinforcements there, so I think that we're going to be in good shape overall. I think Pegu's going to be a little dicey, but Rangoon itself I think is going to be safe for now. I mean, he can always bring overwhelming force there, but not yet. Deliberate attack. Here, I believe this is open terrain, or maybe it might be wooded rough. But, oh wow, look, those Chinese forces just evaporate. These tank regiments probably don't help lots and lots of that bombardment. Definitely going better for the attackers than it is for the defenders, that's for sure. Yep, and Chinese retreat. 5-1 odds there. He brought 3,600 AV. We only had about 1,000. But our adjusted defense was only 409. Disruption and supply played a role in that. Yeah, pretty nasty loss there for us. And Evoken's troops get pushed back there in China. Another attack at Manila. Forts are reduced to 1. It won't be long until Manila falls. And bombardments continue at Clark. And it goes well for us. The Japanese lose some forces, and we do not. And now it's our turn to bombard. Probably not going to do much. Usually after a bombardment, if the opponent then bombards as well, he usually doesn't do much. Usually those guns have already, I guess, used up their, I don't know, their ammo or their firing or whatever. In the previous phase, in the previous attack, in the counter bombardment. But 53 casualties, and we don't take any, so again, that's good to see. Bombardment Lehana. And we keep bombarding at Port Moresby. Really want to keep running him out of supply. We keep seeing messages of that we're shooting down Mavises above Port Moresby, and that's a good sign that he's trying to resupply via flying boat. And so we want to stop that, and so we continue to put those planes in the air, despite the fact that we're taking such really high losses due to those zero sweeps from Raval or Buna. I'm not sure where they're flying from. I should check. We can bombard here east of Pegu. Don't do any damage, but again, this ensures that these units that we're attacking are going to be in combat mode rather than move mode, hopefully slowing them down. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm moving a unit from Pegu over the river to the other side, and that's just because I want to change the hex side ownership. Right now, this hex side, this river crossing, is owned by the Japanese because they had sent that armored unit across to Pegu, and because of that, the Japanese can cross the river into the Pegu without provoking a shock attack. So I have a sacrificial unit which will just get bodied when it crosses the river, but I'm doing that just to reclaim that hex side. So in a couple days you may see an automatic shock attack as that unit crosses the river in an effort to close that hex side again. Because one of the few things that Pegu has going for it is that you do have to make that shock attack across the river. It's open terrain, so not the best place to deal with, but doing so will make it a little tougher, a little more daunting, I should say, for Andy to take. We have a shock attack at Moulmein, which is a 1-to-8, surprisingly, though the losses are really kind of even on both sides, if not worse for us than it is for him. This disruption and lack of supply, though, is gonna keep hurting Andy's troops there. And that looks like it for the turn. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the Discord.